highfalutin, lazy, or foo-foo America gets, we will never stop hunting and fishing. This is the Hunting Quest. Hunting Quest. We take 1 hour of every week and talk about our favorite things in the world, hunting and fishing. You'll get tips and help on the fishing environment locally in the DMV area. Plus, we're going to have fun along the way. This is the Hunting Quest. And now your host, Mike Tippin and Bennett Malin.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Dude, I'm still tired.
That's a damn understatement, right there.
I am wore out. Got back. Work's been a nightmare since I've been back. It's just,
Yep.
It's great. So much fun.
Yeah, yeah.
My dad called me Monday on my way home from work, and he's like, "How was your first day back?" I was like, "Dude, this is bullshit." And he's like, "What? What do you mean?" I was like, "This whole waking up and going to work thing, this is stupid. Why do we do this? This sucks."
Yeah, I'm not into this work thing.
Yeah, this whole working thing, this shit's overrated, man.
I don't know that I want to be a Gregor. I don't think I want to be a Greg.
That's right.
Everyday Greg.
That's right.
Work.
That's
I don't
right.
want to do that.
Heck no.
Oh, so, I first got to start off without anything else. So we are in graduation season, right?
Yep.
And people graduating from college, people graduating from high school, people just graduating from kindergarten. It's all good.
That's me.
But yeah, I'd like to think that I graduated from kindergarten. Miss Crenshaw, that was my kindergarten teacher. Anyway, but two people who are intimate with this podcast and good friends of ours, Miss Kaydan, who graduated and got a full ride scholarship to Virginia Tech. Super, super proud of her. That is absolutely amazing. And just unbelievable. Very, very glad that, she did so well and that she got all the stuff and that she worked her butt off for it. So, there's first congratulations. And then the second one is Jared. And I mean, Jared.
Yep.
Jared's a badass. So
Awesome kid.
Yeah. He if you don't know Jared, you should probably know him. He's just a good human, but on top of that, he's a hell of a fisherman. Pretty damn good at bow fishing.
Yep.
Can make some pretty good fishing lures, and all in all, just a good person. So his mom and dad did a good job of raising that kid, and so he's graduating as well. And congratulations to him. I think that's going to be awesome.
Heck yeah.
But there's our two shout outs for graduates, and may they go change the world in their own special way. It's going to be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
But I got to ask, man, why on earth are you, why would you be tired, man?
Well, I was thinking back to it. I don't know when we decided that this was a good idea to do. Yeah. Sometime last fall, we decided that we were going to go try to do a slam in one season. So
you have to explain what a slam is to some people.
Right. So slam, there's 4 species of wild turkey in North America, not counting technically there's 5, but the 5th one doesn't really count.
Right.
So there's the Osceolas, the Rios, the Miriams, and then the one that 99% of people in the U.S., when they think of wild turkey, is the Eastern. The Eastern's the one that was used mostly for the repopulation of the country and all that kind of stuff. So they're scattered everywhere.
And that's led to a lot of hybrids.
Correct.
That's cool.
So if you can shoot all 4 species in North America, it's called a U.S. Grand Slam. And then there's the Royal Slam, which is, I think, all 5. There's a World Slam, which is there's another species down. Where are the ocellateds? Like southern Mexico, Cancun area.
Yeah. I think they got them in Belize too, but I'm not sure.
I wanted to say Belize, but I wasn't 100% sure. So there's the 6 total. And again, technically there's another one in Europe that doesn't really count, but I don't know. There's a lot. It's a lot of, oh, I've killed every species of turkey in North America. Well, what about this one?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that one doesn't really count.
It's not indigenous.
Okay.
It's an illegal alien.
Right.
Border and stayed.
Hey, that's what's happened in New Mexico and New Mexico and Arizona. The Gould's turkeys are starting to make their way across the border. So.
Yep, for sure.
So I guess that's the next on the list. I don't know. So we started this idea. I think it was probably during duck season of, hey man, wouldn't it be cool if we shot?
Talk about it.
I'm sure it's some stupid early September duck season talk of, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we shot a slam in a single season? Because there's very few people that have done a slam and even fewer that have done it in a single season. And we're like, yeah.
Sure. How hard could it be?
How hard could it possibly be? We're like, we've got this figured out. We know these people here. We've got this covered. We can go to Kansas and hunt. Like, heck yeah, dude. Easy.
Yep.
Wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
Incorrect. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong at some point through the year.
Yep.
And I think you could also argue that everything that could have gone right went right.
Yep.
I mean, from the guys that we hunted with to, I know those birds in Oklahoma had kicked the shit out of us for 2.5 days. And then finally that third morning, they came off that tree wanting to play ball.
Yep.
And I mean, you couldn't have asked for it to work out any better than that. Had some, I got to reap a turkey the first time, out in South Dakota. So wild turkeys have this thing where they're pretty territorial birds. And so you can carry a tail fan and they think it's another turkey. And a lot of times they'll come running towards you. A lot of guys don't like it. A lot of guys say, oh, it's cheating, this, that, and the other. It's no different than hunting behind a decoy, just carrying your decoy with you. I have never done it before, but, I decided to go take a walk up this, I don't even know what, canyon, walking through this river valley.
Canyon. And I will tell you, hold on, I'm gonna interject something. For those of you who've never been to South Dakota, I was totally misled I have the picture of what the Badlands are. I get that, but I was totally misled in what the South Dakota actually was. There's not a flat spot in that state anywhere.
No.
Anywhere. I don't care what anybody says. There is not a flat spot. And these rolling hills that are green and lush always end up in some type of crevice. Deep, hellacious crevice.
I mean, they're just complete drop-offs.
Yeah.
I know that last one that I came out of, it was the last bit before I got back to the field was 150 feet of elevation change over the course of 67 yards.
Yep.
So whatever that math is, like 1.5 feet for every foot that I go forward, I climbed 1.5 feet. I mean, that's damn near vertical. But so I took the fan and went for a little walk thinking, oh, well, at least I'll have this and I could, get within 100 yards without one seeing me, maybe. Ended up getting to like 30 yards before I saw the turkey as I was cresting this little hill. Laid down, a whole bunch of crap happened. I like pinched a nerve in my shoulder. I'm laying on the ground freaking out. And finally I was like, man, I should probably check to see where this bird's at. And I look under the fan. It's like 5 feet away, full strut charging me across this little pasture, a little, not even a pasture, a little like pocket field in the woods. I was like,
I would say that looks, it's not, but it looks like a food plot.
Yeah, almost like a little pocket food plot in the woods. And
It was not a food plot, by the way.
No, it's just a little clearing in the trees, I guess. But yeah, so that was an exciting one. And then you got yours also out in South Dakota. So I think we'd already talked on the podcast. We've already talked about the Osceolas. We've already talked about the Rios. So there was our Miriam's adventure of 2 days out there, 3 days hunting, craziness.
Yeah.
And then we decided.
And we did meet some cool people while we were out
yeah.
there. And I think that's the part in all of this that, you know, like you said, everything that could go wrong went wrong, but everything that could go right went right. And it was because of good people. You know, everything that went right because of good people and the people that we're around, the people that we know, and the people that we know, or the people who know people that we're around and that know us. And so there was a lot that went right. And
right.
So, but in all of it, I think we've had the opportunity to meet some of the coolest, most amazing people on the planet. We've met some real assholes too, but
yeah,
we have truly met some really, really cool people. And that's one of the coolest things about this whole trip. Anyway, keep going.
So we finish out South Dakota.
Yep.
Mikey had accidentally bought a turkey tag in New York when we were up there last year doing some goose hunting.
Yep.
So Mikey's big idea was, well, I've already got a turkey tag. Why don't we go to New York for the last one?
We know people.
What could possibly go wrong? You know, we've got birds up there. We know people up there. We're set.
Yep. Shout out to Steve.
Why not?
Dude, Steve, you're the man. But anyway, keep going.
So we load up the truck and start driving back east. And instead of going back home, we decide we're going to skirt up along the Great Lakes and over to New York. And we get in, and it was kind of funny. Our Mike was, oh man, I hope you guys are ready for a walk today. You know, we're gonna really get after him if we have to. And he knew what was going on. He knew it was the last one that we needed, and he was like, we're gonna make it happen.
Yep.
Like,
and not just that. It was both Mike and Jeremy.
Right.
I mean, the two of them were like, yep, this is gonna happen, fellas.
Yeah. They're like, we're getting this done.
Yep.
So we get there, we meet up at Mike's house and jump in the truck with him, and he's like, all right, well, I hope you guys are ready to do some walking and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, man, we just got back from South Dakota. Like, good luck.
I don't feel like walking at all.
I really don't want to, but good luck.
Good luck. Here we go.
We jumped out of that truck, and what did we walk? 10 minutes, maybe?
Maybe, not even.
And he's like, yeah, we're going to cut across this field. We'll get to this point. These birds have been roosting down like below on the backside of this field, so we'll kind of ease up to that point. They're either going to come through the woods or going to come right up through this field right in front of us. And we're like, okay, sounds good, dude. I don't know. Sure. We get set up, and it's dark and raining and just nasty. And I don't know what I was doing. I was playing on my phone. I think I was playing with that bird app on my phone. And
Merlin.
Yeah, I was playing with that Merlin app from Cornell.
Yep.
And so I'm sitting there looking at it, and all of a sudden I hear this schwack and see something go take off running. And I'm like, what in the hell was that? I thought it was a bird that had pitched down already. I thought a bird had pitched down into the decoys, and come to find out, apparently it was a coyote that Mikey and Mike had seen crawling across the field before it jumped onto the strutter decoy.
It hit that thing like it was freaking lightning, just screaming through the field. I mean, it hit it, realized, wild. Oh, crap, this is not what was supposed to happen. I'll keep on going.
And like from where I was sitting, I could barely even see the top of the decoy anyway. And I think I could see it better before it was knocked over, but it was still dark, and I didn't realize that it was knocked over until I didn't even realize it was knocked over until after I had shot my bird. But we're sitting there, and all of a sudden that first bird gobbles, and he ain't 70 yards from us. Hell, he's probably 50 yards from us on the roost tree. And Mike's like, those birds are a lot closer than I thought they were going to be. Yep. We're like, oh, shit.
Yep.
So they started carrying on and
no,
gobbling
they
and
kind of carrying on. Them boys were thunderous.
they were pretty fired up. The hens started getting fired up. We watched the hens fly down and watched those 2 strutters fly down off the tree. And
I think we watched one hen like crash into a. She didn't really fly.
Yeah, she fell out of the tree into the field. But we've seen a lot of birds this year. We've seen a lot of. I mean, obviously we had already killed 3 at that point, and blah blah blah. And I was kind of like, okay, cool, kind of know what's going on. And I watched that one longbeard. You could see his beard as he pitched down, and Mike's sitting kind of back behind me, and I hear him go, "Get ready!" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like adrenaline through the roof, and I was like,
miles an hour.
I was like, damn it, dude, I was doing so good, just like trying to stay chill. Like, oh, there goes all of that. Yeah. And there's something to those Easterns too. I mean, they doing it all in one season, back to back to back, like we did. There is not a bird in the country that gobbles like an Eastern. I mean, the leaves on the trees behind us were shaking. It sounded like. I mean, it's just absolutely insane.
Yep.
And just everyone talks about the spring thunder. That's your Eastern. There ain't the other ones just don't do that. I mean, they're loud. Don't get me wrong. It's loud and impressive. And when they're at 60 yards like that Osceola just gobbling his head off, it's amazing. Yep. It ain't an Eastern.
Nope.
Not even close. But so these birds start working their way in. And I remember at one point when those birds are gobbling, the hens are making a whole bunch of noise. It was right before all of them flew down. The last 10 that were in the trees above us flew down. The gobblers on the ground are gobbling. There's hens everywhere cutting up and making a bunch of noise and yelping. There's geese all around behind us honking and carrying on. I mean, it was just as loud as it could possibly be in the woods. And I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen, but it's about to be something crazy.
Yep. It's
like something weird's about to happen.
Yep.
So the rest of the birds pitched down, and I remember hearing where those gobblers were down in the field, and I couldn't see them. I had a big bush in front of me to my left, so I couldn't see where they actually pitched down. And I watched those hens pitch down to them, and I was like, I'm sitting there like, oh, damn, dude, those hens went straight to those toms. They're going to turn and leave. We're not going to call those toms in, this, that, and whatever. I'm kind of sitting there and like, damn, they were really close. I'm surprised they didn't pitch down to the decoys, and they pitched down there, whatever. And about that time, I heard the
yep.
I was like, oh, they're really close. Yep. I don't know where, but they're really close.
Yep.
And I could hear 2 or 3 of them doing it. And about that time, I saw the hen crest the top of the hill coming into the decoys. Well, what had happened was what had happened was that that coyote had knocked that strutter over, and she come walking up towards the decoy, and she was like, huh, why is that tom laying face down in the dirt? That's not normal. Something's wrong here.
Yeah, he said full strut.
And I watched
out of the dirt.
I heard that one putt, and I was like, that was one of the bad ones.
That was one of the bad
And
ones.
I watched her flick her wing, and I heard Mike say, shoot one. I couldn't see him.
He goes, stand up and shoot.
Well, he said something before he said stand up.
Yeah.
He said something about shoot one now or something.
Yeah,
and I couldn't see him, and I'm looking. I'm like, dude, I don't see any of them. And I watched the hen pop back down the hill.
Now, keep in mind, you left out an important part. So you and I had a deal this year that no matter what, you would take the first shot for everything. That was the deal. So I'm looking at this tom's head. It was just peeking over the top of this thing, and I'm like, oof, there he is. There he is. And I thought for sure Benny's got a clean shot at him. Oh, he's going to smoke this guy.
I couldn't see any. I could barely see that hen that came closest to the decoy. I could barely see the top of her head scooting along the top of the corn.
But I'm like, oh, Benny's got this one. Benny's going to smoke this one. It's good. And
nope. That's how I hear Mike go, shoot one now. And I'm looking, I'm like scanning with my gun. Like I don't see one. And he's like, stand up if you have to. And I stood up and ran to the edge of that bush, took, 5 steps forward and just picked the first big white head standing in the group and was like, yep, boom.
That was it.
That's the one.
Yep.
And I don't remember what we paced it off at, 38?
Something like that.
Just under 40 yards, I think.
Something like that.
Smoked him.
That's what it was.
Hammered him.
Yeah.
So, and he was a stud.
Yeah.
That was a really nice Eastern.
Yeah, stone dead. No questions asked. I'm like, all right, he's got this.
Yeah, that little 20 gauge is nasty, man.
I got to give you some credit on
that
that.
little 20 gauge is a turkey killing some gun. I'll tell you that.
I was not expecting that to be the way that it was. I really didn't. I didn't think it was going to be that cool. Yeah, and I tell you, there's something to be said about that little 20 gauge and the fact that that thing might weigh 5 pounds.
Maybe. I don't even think it's that much.
It can't be that much, but I'm going to go with 5 pounds, if that. And holding that little 5-pound joker up versus holding a 12 gauge A400 Beretta up, that gets a little tiresome after a little while. So, it was really cool. It was, so you smoked this.
I think the funniest part was I shoot it, and when I shot, my gun came up and come back down, and all I see is birds running through the field.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, shit. And I look and see mine's just, belly flat laid out on the ground. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, got him. Thank God. And then you had stood up, and Mike had stood up and started walking out. And I remember Mike going, did he get him? And like kind of taking off running. And you go, yeah, he got him.
The trigger. It's dead.
Yeah, he pulled the trigger. It's dead.
Yeah.
And then Mike's like, I don't know why. He's like, man, I'm getting emotional. He's like, what you guys just did? Like, dude, that just made my season. And I was like, dude, that made my season. Like my season is over now. Like I can just relax. Like it's done.
But I cannot.
Yeah, now it's Mikey's turn to play.
So we get, obviously it was a really, really cool. I mean, it was absolutely one of the best moments that I've seen. And I could care less if I got a turkey or not. I was just super excited to see somebody I knew complete a slam, and not just complete a slam, but complete it in one season.
Right.
Technically you completed your slam out. Your first slam was completed in South Dakota.
Yep.
But this was completing a slam in one season, and I'm like, man, I don't know, the emotions. It's true, it's like I have no idea what to say. Just soak it in, and that's kind of super excited, and I'm like, man, I'm kind of glad that this is over with for him. I really am. I'm kind of glad that he did this. But that means it's over. It's all done.
Yeah.
And so we kind of got past all that emotional stuff and went and said, all right, we got to go get some turkeys for me. So we met up. Mike took us around a couple different fields, and nothing was really doing. We saw one that was out in the field, and he's like, yeah, we ain't going to get on that one. It's too hard to get there. And like, all right. So finally we meet up with Jeremy. And I see why Mike and Jeremy are friends. I think the two of them are pretty amazing humans.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So they decided that they're going to get out there, and they're going to kind of, all right, cool. We're going to, we're going to get you your turkey. And they weren't kidding, man. I mean, we tried a couple of, I think it was the second field we went to, and they said, let's go. We're going out here. We walk. And then that hunt, I got to say, was, I've been on a lot of different turkey hunts. On my own, with you, with a lot of people, I've gotten to hunt with Mr. Salter. I've got to do a lot of different, really cool things, but that hunt was really, really cool. and it was my favorite hunt. And we got out there, and we get a gobble, we get a couple of gobbles, like, all right, here we go. And we're moving and we're gobbling and we're calling and we're gobbling, and and it was really, really cool. And we finally get set up on one. Turns out, that one just never wanted to show itself. And we were pretty sure that one was a Jake just based off of calls, right? But we didn't see him. So we're like, all right, let's get reset up. We heard some more birds over here. Let's see if we can get on them. Get reset up. There's 4 people in the woods trying to make sure I get my bird.
The best part was that first set, we're listening to this one, and it kind of sounded like it's getting closer, and we're like, oh, dude, I don't know. I think it's Jake. Mikey's sitting on this tree 40 yards ahead of us. Me, Mike, and Jeremy are sitting on this tree back behind him. And the 3 of us are sitting there I'm like, I don't really know why I'm here. Like, I'm not calling. I'll let these guys call. And we're all sitting there. We're like, no, that one's like front left a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that one's like back over our right shoulder. We're sitting there like none of us are talking to Mikey. He's just alone up on a tree. And we're like, oh, no, dude, I think this closest one, man, I don't know. It kind of sounds like a Jake. We're like, I don't know.
I don't think so.
They kind of moved towards us. And we're like,
and he gobbled like, yeah, he's a Jake.
We're like, yeah, no, it's a Jake, I think. I don't know. And then it turned and it gobbled a little bit further away. And we're like, all right, screw it. Let's grab Mike. Or, let's grab Mikey, grab the decoys. Let's push over to one of these birds. So the 3 of us stand up. We go walking up to Mikey. And me and Jeremy are standing there talking. And Mike goes up to grab the decoys. And Jeremy just like one time, just just trying to get something to fire off. And that bird gobbled. He had to have been 60 yards. I mean, just pow. And we're like, oh God. I laid down. Jeremy dove behind the tree. Mikey just kind of took a knee. And Mike just takes off running through the woods to try to get back to the tree that the 3 of us were originally set up on. Yep. And so we're laying in the dirt. I'm laying face down in the dirt. I'm kind of looking at Jeremy like, why did he take off running like that? Was he scared or something? We're sitting there giving him shit. And finally we're like, all right, no, let's go move on that other bird. So we get up, walk up there, we sit down. And that time we set up and we had both of those birds gobbling. So we had one to our right and one kind of back behind us to the left. And we're like, oh, this is going to get weird. This is
I'm up 40 yards away from everybody.
Yeah, again, by yourself. The 3 of us are sitting back. Mike's by himself. One of our guides' name's Mike too. Yeah. Super confusing the whole time, but whatever. Mike's sitting by himself. Mikey's up by himself with his gun like 40 yards ahead of us. Me and Jeremy are on this other little group of trees over in the corner back here. And, Jeremy would call and Mike would call and Jeremy would call and Mike would call. These birds are just gobbling and getting closer and getting closer and getting closer. And finally, Jeremy sees this one up in the field above us. We're kind of sitting on a hill. There's one up in the field above us.
Now, mind you, Jeremy's prior Navy as well. So, we get it. We get it.
So him and I are sitting there, and Jeremy's like, I can't tell what it is. I can't tell if it's a Jake or not, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know. I pull my binos out, and I'm looking, and it had gone behind a cedar tree. We couldn't really see it. And Jeremy looks at Mikey and does the old freaking... And Mikey's like, yep, and turns this way. I didn't see that. I saw the hand signals, and I'm still trying to glass this bird to get eyes on it. Well, I see the bird kind of stand up, and I'm like, oh, he might have seen us. And I kind of stop looking at him for a second, and I hear this boom. And I'm like, well, surely he didn't shoot that bird. I'm like, did he shoot something else? Did something come up behind us in the woods? Like, what the hell did Mikey just shoot? And about that time, I look over and see that bird flopping up in the field. And we're like, how did you hit that? I don't remember what we paced it off at, but I took off running and grabbed it.
Yep.
And then
it was over 60, I think.
It was like 64 or 65, I think.
Yeah, it was up
something crazy. I went and stood where the bird was. Mikey went back down to the tree he was sitting on. And we're looking at each other through, this tiny little window in the trees. I'm like, how did you even get shot through that? Like, how did this work?
I only had a little window.
But it worked. I don't know how, but it worked.
Good old TSS.
So, then Mikey had finished his slam, and
Yep.
that was it.
That was one of the coolest.
That was wild.
Really was
that was a crazy hunt.
The best hunts. And I'll tell you,
The whole time I'm like, why are there 4 of us running around in the yard,
Right?
in the
Because
woods,
why
dude? What
not?
is happening?
why not? And but it was it was really, really cool, man. I mean, I've done some really cool hunts in my life, and that was by far the best hunt I have ever been on, with one exception, and that's the first time you ever kill a bird. Right,
Mhm.
First time you ever shoot a bird. You don't ever. To me, I mean, it could be the worst circumstance, be the best circumstance, but that holds a spot in your heart that you'll never, ever, ever improve upon. Right.
Right.
So short of that, this is number one in the books. And good people, good times, good place. We had a really awesome freaking Airbnb up in New York. So yeah.
Yeah, those guys were a blast too. I don't know if you were talking to Jeremy on the way out. Me and Mike are in the back walking out behind you two. I'm on the phone with my mom. Mike's like tripping over tree branches and stuff. He keeps looking back at me like, oh, that one almost got me. We're like, dude, you're going to bust your ass, dude. You better watch where you're walking. He's like, oh, it's these big feet I got. I can't walk in this crap. We're just joking, cutting up. Like, how did that work out? We just had 4 idiots running through the woods with 2 decoys and a couple dudes calling, and somehow we made that happen in like 10 minutes. That was awesome.
Yep. And hauling ass, not just walking. That was hauling ass.
Yeah, we were boogieing. That's more my style of hunting. Hear one, just run his ass down.
Yeah.
Get one that wants to play ball mid-morning like that. And those are killable birds a lot of times.
They're rare, but they're so much fun, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
I mean, now what?
Yeah. I don't know. Now what is not the right term? Not the right thing to say. It's like, all right.
I get to
Turkey
sleep in
season
on
this
Saturday.
year. What's that?
So I get to sleep in Saturday.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
When does Maryland season go out?
Like next Wednesday, I'm probably going to be hunting Saturday.
Yeah. When does and Virginia's goes out this? Does it go out this?
Or Virginia's goes out this coming Saturday. Maryland goes out like next Wednesday, I think the 23rd.
Yeah.
I think Virginia's the 18th.
Yeah. All right.
Something like that. New York's the 31st, so we always got like 2 more weekends to go back up there.
And here's the thing is I have another tag. And not just that, but I have to go up there to go get my binoculars.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, see if we could justify it.
And by the way, I looked through my truck. Yours are not in my truck either.
Yeah, I know. Mine aren't. I left. I've lost my binos. I've also lost my rain jacket that I just bought. That gray Frog Tog one. No idea where that is. I was going to grab it this morning to wear to work, and I was like, Oh, I think it's in my vest, and ran outside. I'm like, it's not my vest. I was like, I'd put money on it being in New York. I was like, damn it.
I ain't worried about it, though. There's some good folks up there that are taking care of it.
So. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, they so I don't know. Maybe I call Mike up, and I think my wife would probably kill me if I left for another weekend.
Yeah, you know.
I'd go back up there just to go visit. I mean, that place is gorgeous. It's a lot of fun. It's good people. There's, a really cool place to stay up there. That's way cheaper than the Comfort Inn.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know why. It had to have been graduation weekend or something
graduation.
At Colgate.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Something wild. That was the only hotel we could find in the area was this crappy like 2-star reviewed Comfort Inn, and it was what I say it was like $270 something a night.
$270 a night.
And we're like, for a Comfort Inn? Hell no. I was like, let me see what's on Airbnb.
Yep.
We find this little Airbnb 2-bedroom house on the lake, and we're like, $150 a night. We're like, it's sold. That's almost half of what this Comfort Inn is for a 2-bedroom lake house. Yeah. Kick rocks.
You know what? I will tell you, and I think this was actually pretty cool. I learned something. La Quinta Inns.
Yeah, they're kind of nice now.
They're kind of nice.
Yeah, they're kind of nice now. You got to be careful. You got to find one of the like newly renovated ones.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they're kind of
they're not bad. They're not bad.
They got waffles.
That's right.
They got waffles, like good waffles. So I'm a waffle guy, especially from the hotels. That's like that's the way to go.
Dude, that what was that Friday morning? Waking up when I was trying to make that waffle. Yeah. Dude, I was so lost standing there. I like poured the batter into it and shut the lid. Thankfully, there's a lady standing next to me. She's like, "You gotta spin it." I was like, "What?" She's like, "You gotta grab the handle and turn it over."
You're
and I was like,
a waffle machine.
I was like, "Oh, okay." Like spin it. I wasn't new to a waffle machine. I had just been awake for 45 seconds, threw my stuff in a bag, and ran downstairs. She's like, "You gotta spin it." And I was like, "Oh, yeah."
So I got a text from Mike. Mike said he's got your binos. So hopefully Mike's got my binos too.
He sent me a text the other day and was like, "Damn, dude, I got some nice Vortex binos I'll sell you." Oh. I was like, "Damn it, I knew they were in your truck."
Yeah. Well, hopefully mine are up there because I am terrible. I've lost 2 sets of binos if those don't show up. So
it's a bad year to be a pair of binoculars.
Yeah, in my household anyway. Man, if I lose those, I'll never hear the end of that. So, but no. So, all in all,
he just sent me a text and said, "I told you I have your binos."
Yeah. Hopefully he's got mine.
Dude, this is weird, dude. It's almost like Mike can hear us right now.
Exactly.
This is weird.
Oh, we'll have to get those two on the podcast, man.
They'd be a blast.
They'd be a freaking blast. So, but no, I can tell you, I think I have, without a doubt, I will go back to New York. I will go back next year, and I will hunt New York again.
100%. Yeah,
without a doubt.
No, that was fun.
And quite honestly, all right. So I've had this number that I was mathing. So,
right.
So how many miles do you think we went total? This
for the whole season?
Yep, Florida. I'm counting Florida, Oklahoma. I won't count the amazing bed and breakfast that we stayed at in Missouri twice. But I'm just
it's a decent little crash pad. It works. Man, it works out pretty good.
Yeah, they serve some amazing food and all that stuff. So,
dude, I don't know. It's got to be 7,000 miles, 8,000 miles.
You got to pick something. We need specifics here.
I would say between 7 and 8. Are we doing like if you go too high you lose?
I'm not saying anything
because it's like I know it's at least 4,000.
Okay.
Because that trip alone was like 3,600 or 3,700.
All right.
Back to my apartment. Damn, I bet it's close to 8. That'd be my guess. Like 8,000.
So, our trip to our total, I won't give you numbers for where we went each time, but our total trip was 7,452 miles.
Whoo!
Now put that in perspective. From my house to the front to downtown Los Angeles, California, right? And I picked that just because. From my house to Los Angeles, California is 2,640 miles. So you do the math there.
Oh God.
We can legitimately say we drove across country and back
multiple
times.
And
then did it again and almost back the second time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We must have stopped like in I don't know, like Nebraska or something.
I don't want to travel to turkey hunt anymore.
Oh, I do.
Dude, it's no wonder we were so ready to be out of that damn truck.
Yeah, I went
come Saturday.
I went back in that truck yesterday. I was actually looking for like binoculars and all the stuff that I had to add some ice to our turkeys because they're still in the coolers and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
So I'm in the truck. It does not smell good in that truck.
Oh God,
all.
no. No, it smelled horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's with like multiple air fresheners in there.
Yeah.
It didn't smell good.
Dude, I got back into my truck, which my truck normally stinks. Like now that hunting season's over, it can get cleaned up and inside will get detailed and that's then, whatever.
Sure.
Dude, I jumped back into my truck. I was like, wow, it smells good in here. And then I'm like, wait, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It smells awful in here. It just smells slightly better than Mikey's truck. I was like, oh, dude, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
It's bad when Febreze will not cover up. It's bad.
You need to get one of those odor bomb things we saw at the PA show. A little smoke screen thing.
Yeah, I've got one for my truck, and
I'd be interested to see how that works out.
I did it for the red truck that I've got,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to set that off because a 19-year-old boy lived in there forever, and it smelled, so that thing works amazingly.
Huh.
I was not disappointed at all.
I'll have to get one of those.
Yeah. Yep. Worth it.
Because my truck is gross right now.
Yep.
I got in it today. I had to wear not a uniform to work today. And got in my truck. I was like, ew, it's gross in here.
Yep. At least I hope I still have one of those bombs left. I think I do. If not, I'm ordering them.
I say, if not, we'll order some and I'll split a case with you or something on them.
Absolutely. But no, it was cool, man. We, truck smells terrible.
It's all part of it. I mean, you hunted hard. And I think, honestly, that's the most rewarding thing.
Yeah.
Is that none of them were easy.
No.
Granted,
one of them was.
Granted, that was still the easiest one. Was still 27 hours of driving in 48 hours. Got down there, doubled up, and turned around and drove back.
Yeah, absolutely.
The hunt was cake.
Right.
It was the getting there, getting back in the time frame that we had to do it that was challenging.
Yep.
So there wasn't a single one that was, wake up, drive an hour, walk out in the field, shoot a bird, go home.
No.
They were all an adventure, to say the least.
Yeah. And I tell you, I was sold on South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
But word to the wise, if any of you are going out to South Dakota and you're doing a Merriam hunt, you better be in shape. Don't go out there as a fat boy like me. Go out there in shape.
That was a rude awakening.
Yeah, put some time on that treadmill because
that was a rude awakening.
Yeah, that was. And don't forget your water.
Or snacks. Dude, I think that second day having that trail mix saved me.
Yeah.
Because there were multiple times coming out of that canyon that I was like, all right, sit down, eat a handful of trail mix, chug a bottle of water, wait 10, 15 minutes, and then start walking again. It's just a vertical wall.
Yep.
That you're walking out of. So it's get a good pair of boots, maybe some that are broken in.
Yeah, not ones that you buy because yours are busted and you realize that after your first hunt that you need some new boots because yours busted on the last hunt. It wasn't hard. But I will say, if you're trying to find some low-cost boots that are somewhat waterproof, they're not perfect, but they are waterproof, but they breathe. They've got everything to them. Those Cabela Instincts that are like hiking boots, they're really good. I think they were. They weren't cheap, but they weren't like the most expensive. I think they were like $90 with a military discount.
Yeah.
Sounds
about right.
Now I took a look. The first our hunting out in Oklahoma. I thought I had broken those in pretty well, and South Dakota reminded me very quickly that they weren't even close to broken in at all.
Yeah, I think I was very surprised that I didn't have blisters in South Dakota.
Yeah, I did.
I thought for sure my feet were going to be all blistered up. They're sore, but they didn't get blistered, thankfully. But yeah, it's some crazy terrain out there.
It is. And for those who don't understand, good boots and good socks. I don't look. I ain't getting paid for any of this stuff, but the socks that I have found that work the best, those smart wool socks, the thin smart wool socks, they are money.
I just can't do wool socks.
I've never really been a wool sock fan either, but in the right boot, they work. They work really well. And with the right, I mean, they're not like thick, they're really thin.
Yeah.
So the thin wool socks, definitely the way to go. Even in hot climates, it worked perfect.
Yeah. I'd say I always just wear the Yield Nike black whatever crew socks, just cotton sock. I don't.
Yeah, that's
And even like in cold weather, I don't find that any of those like I've every once in a while like, oh man, it's gonna be cold. I'm gonna wear a nice big thick pair of wool socks, and my feet are significantly colder.
Yep.
than if I just wear like normal. I mean, it's the same socks I wear every day. I wear them in my uniform. I wear them to the gym. I wear them hunting. Everything.
Yep.
I don't know why, but they work.
And there's a lot of truth to that in the sense that like that guy Mike that was with us out in where was he? In South Dakota, the Tennessee Mike.
Yeah. Tennessee Mike. That's a name.
Yeah. He was the same way though. He goes, my feet froze all the time in duck boots or in dry shods or muck boots or all of the rubber boots. And he was like, why is it that my feet are freezing out here? So he went to just a regular old pair of boots and a set of gaiters to go over the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, that was the greatest thing and greatest invention and greatest find. He was just like, holy crap, I didn't realize that this was as easy as it needed to be. So I thought that was pretty slick, and he kind of between him and Todd. His wing bone cost.
Dude, those two are some characters, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh shoot. Yeah, it was a good time. Good times.
So I don't know what we're gonna do. I have no idea what we're gonna do, but we had to figure out some other kind of trouble.
That's right.
I do owe Jeremy. I bought Jeremy a cool present, so he'll for taking us out and kind of ending in and kind of helping us out in the clutch. Him and Mike they're gonna get a cool present. So I got Jeremy's. I got to figure out something cool for Mike. So.
We got Mike 2 pairs of binoculars and maybe a Frog Talk rain jacket. Really hoping that's in there.
I think that's pretty good. But no, man, it's I am glad that it's over, but I'm really glad the adventure, getting to see different states, getting to hunt in different places, getting to meet different folks, and really, people lending a hand and helping us out when we kind of get in a situation where it's just not, we're in a tough situation. So
right.
We were very fortunate, very, very fortunate.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the way it goes though, right?
Hopefully that's ideally the way it goes. Doesn't always, but this year it did.
Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty good start to the 2024 hunting adventures.
Yeah.
I think we got a lot of months of getting in trouble, doing some fishing, I guess now, and getting ready for. Hell, we only got a couple months till deer season starts. So Missouri deer season opens in 4 months. So
not that you're counting or anything.
If you're shooting a bow, you better start practicing now.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, that's I don't know, fishing season's among us, upon us. There's a friend of ours, her daughter is going to go fishing with me this year, hopefully quite a bit. And I got the okay to take her into a duck blind, so that ought to be cool too.
Oh boy.
So Cora's going to I think she'll have a really good time fishing, and hopefully she'll have a good time, shooting her stick at the ducks in the duck blind and talking trash.
That's right.
I did warn her mom that she probably will come back with a vocabulary that she doesn't necessarily really want her to have.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She said it'll be fine. It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
it'd be all right. It'd be all
So,
right.
but Cora's a pretty cool kid. So I think that'll be a good time.
Hopefully we have, I know this guy that's a captain that does some bow fishing charters.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still listening or not, but hopefully we get to get out and do some of that soon. He said,
That'd be cool.
He said for you and I to be ready for some weeknight adventures. So
okay,
we may have of course not now because it's been pouring every single day here. So that river is going to be super muddy, but hopefully we get a couple clear days and we can get out on the river and do some bow fishing.
Hell, I'd just be happy putting a pole in the water.
See,
pointy end on it or not.
I think I'm done bass fishing for the year. I'm gonna have to. I got to find something else to go after now. Like I can't. I guess it's about time for me to start focusing on saltwater or brackish at least. I got a lot of salt. Huh?
Nobody likes a bragger.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Nobody likes a bragger. I'm done.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have to just move to saltwater. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to do. I mean, hell, I ain't gonna catch a largemouth bigger than that.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I guess I could, but
I know a buddy named Scott who he consistently catches double-digit bass.
Yeah.
So, it can be done, but I don't know. I think Chickatique's gonna be the spot this year.
Do a little surf fishing.
Yeah. I'm not good at it. I say I'm not good at it. I don't know enough about it.
Yep.
And we talk about on the podcast, we talk about local fishing and hunting in this, in Northern Virginia and, Washington metropolitan area. Well, we just went all over the country. That doesn't really fall into the hunting and fishing in the Northern Virginia area. So I'm going to try, I'm going to try, I fish a lot around here, but, I don't know. I want to try, I think Chickatique or Assateague and learn some surf casting.
Yeah.
Only just because. I mean, why not? I've never done it. Well, I've done it, but I'm not good at it. And I had other people trying to teach me, and I didn't learn it. Let's go with that.
Yeah, there you go.
I've heard surf casting is pretty good up in New York, allegedly. I said,
dude, I grew up in freaking Missouri. I don't know the first damn thing about surf casting.
Hey, I heard.
I think it's
really cool.
I think it's like big rods and probably some heavy weights.
Yeah, lots of weights,
and just freaking slinging out into the ocean.
Yeah,
that's the cool thing about like fishing saltwater is there's so many species.
Yep.
Like you go fish a freshwater pond and it's hey, you've got bluegill, catfish, largemouth bass. It's probably about it.
Yep.
For catchable fish.
Dude,
you can go catch 20 different fish in the ocean and not a single one of them will be the same species of fish.
Oh yeah.
In the same spot. You can go fish a fishing pier.
Yep.
And you go 20 in a row catching different fish.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool though. I mean, because if you look at surf casting, at least a little bit that I have learned about is you've got to know the tides in the area, right?
Right.
And you got to know how they break and where the rips are and you want to fish in this, in between the currents, or if you fish the currents, you got to fish a certain way. And so I don't know. I think there's a lot to be learned there. And I'm not going to say I'm the greatest bass fisherman or freshwater fisherman ever. I catch catfish like they're going out of style.
That's right.
Only because that's the best tasting fish on the planet. But
easy cowboy.
Yeah. But I catch catfish all day long. But I don't know. I think it's the next challenge. It's like bow fishing. I suck at it. So I got to keep practicing until I get good at it.
Right.
Surf cast. I suck at it. I don't know enough about it. So I got to keep practicing until I get good at it. So what's up with your camera today?
I don't know, dude. It keeps going out of focus.
Every time.
Hadn't been running a while. She's still waking up,
tired.
Dude. Yeah.
She's a little tired.
Oh shit.
But yeah, man, it's that's pretty epic though.
Not too bad. Not too bad, eh?
Yeah. And you used up all your fox shells.
I didn't. I got one left.
Oh, well, there you go.
Like I don't know who's getting that one, but
it's gonna happen.
Ain't bad to shoot a single season slam and go 4 for 4 on them.
Yep. Like I said, I told Mike, I said, he said, is he dead? Did he miss? What's going on? I said, he pulled the trigger. That bird's dead. So,
it's that little Benelli, dude. Dude,
that's pretty cool. But I tell you, man, I don't know that I'll ever be able to give up that 12. That A400 is a turkey killing machine, but I think eventually I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to go to something a little bit lighter. I wish Benelli would have a pistol
and that's the
grip.
thing I like about it is just how light it is.
Yeah, I wish Beretta would have a pistol grip to it. That's I'd go to an A300 if they had a pistol grip.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they will. It may not be next year, but they will. I mean, everyone's doing it.
Yeah, I'd shoot a 20 gauge A300 with a pistol grip, and put another Halson, on top of it and smoke some turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it with half the weight.
Right.
I ain't got to worry about it. Did I send you the shot cam?
You did. That thing's sick. That's a cool video.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So, that was the Miriam.
Yeah. I was close to getting that one on video with the big camera. I just didn't know where you guys were.
Yeah.
It turns out I was looking at you the whole time. I just couldn't see you guys through the cedar trees. And I couldn't see the birds, so I didn't know where the birds were.
Yep.
I'm standing there like, well, I guess I'll wait until I see the birds. And about that time, boom! I see the bird jump and crash back down. I'm like, oh, well, all right.
There goes that one.
That's over.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's good times. And like I said, if I had anything, everything that could go right went right, and everything that went wrong went wrong. I wouldn't say everything that could go wrong went wrong. Everything that went wrong went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, if shooting a slam was easy, everybody would do it.
Right.
If shooting a slam in one season was easy, everybody would do it.
Mm-hmm.
I know people who shot slams in one season. I think it's going to get a lot harder though. I think with the way tags are and the way that people, over the counter tags are going away, more and more land's private.
Yeah.
The walk-in and hunt land is very few and far between. So you either got to know somebody or be a part of a club or pay somebody or have a guide. And, all of that starts to cost pretty quick, so, I think that's going to be a harder thing to do. Although the guy who did it, what was it? 40 fastest slam on in record.
Dude, that's just not even, what was it? Like 10 hours. He did it in a single day.
Yeah.
It was like 11 hours, like just shy of 11 hours.
That's what happens when you have a friend with a jet.
I mean,
and you've got people who have scouted all these birds.
That's nuts.
You show up, you pull the trigger. That's all you do.
I mean, let's run out to the blind, pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Get back, get on the jet, fly to the next state.
Yeah. And hopefully it's not, hopefully the turkey that you just shot ain't far from the state, or ain't far from the airfield,
Right.
So, I don't know, man. Obviously it would be epic to say that you've done that, but I don't know what enjoyment that you get out of it. You get a lot of sponsorships, I'm sure, but I don't know what enjoyment you would really get out of that.
Right.
You didn't meet people. You got out and you killed something. You got back in. So
and then went to the next state and did it again.
Yeah, probably. I'm not going to say they didn't have to work for it because I don't know, but I can't imagine they had to work real hard for it. And you pick easy states. I don't see them going to South Dakota shooting a bird. Right out the get go. Making that. That's a hard state to shoot a bird in. So.
Hey, Dan, don't hate the player, hate the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
Something like that.
Sure. I'll say that. Yeah. Whatever.
Shit.
But, no, man. So, other than that, man, it's a hell of an accomplishment. Hell of an accomplishment.
It's a hell of a year.
I have got dry mouth. Terrible.
And
I'm out of my adult beverage.
Oh man, did you get one of them defective bottles with a hole in the bottom of it?
It came from that place. But no, we have rambled a lot, but I don't have a whole lot more to say other than, I'm glad I got to do it with you. I'm glad that we got it done. I'm glad that I got that in my pocket somewhere someday to when I'm old and I can forget and people can say,
That's right. That's right.
I remember when I sat in that truck, it smelled terrible.
Oh, God. There's a lot of those days.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of those days.
But all right, man.
Well,
what else you got?
I got nothing.
Yeah.
We just hit the hour mark.
Hey, that ain't bad.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good. You're getting close.
But we're going to try to, now that everything's kind of settled down, we'll try to get some more, have some more guests on, some repeat guests.
Yep.
We'll get some new guests on here, and we'll go talk about, hunting and fishing. So
let's do some fishing for a little bit.
Yeah. Make some more lures. We got a brand new to us microwave to use and destroy. So
yeehaw. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, it's hot. It's burning me.
Yeah. Give these two idiots a microwave and some molten plastic. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh,
don't worry about it. We'll be all right.
At least we had adult supervision by Jared.
That's right. I got good health. I got free health care. It ain't good health care, but it's free. So,
I got good health care. So I'm good.
Whatever.
I got good sick care. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, my friend.
All righty.
Let's wrap it up, and then I'm going to go eat something. I'm hungry.
I'm going to do the same thing. All right. Well, that's all I got. All right. And I think short of that, unless you got anything, Mike, we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, everybody. Y'all see you next week.
Yeehaw. See ya.
You've been listening to The Hunting Quest. No matter how crazy, high-tech, or lazy the rest of the country gets, we will always be hunting and fishing. If that's you, you've found your new family. Thanks for listening to the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. Reach out to us by email at info@thehuntingquest.com. And check us out on Instagram and YouTube at The Hunting Quest. See you next time.